How China and Russia's energy cooperation is leaving Europe in shock. While China aids Russia by signing a big deal that has startled and depressed Europe, in today's video, we'll look at how China and Russia's mega project benefits both countries while putting Europe at risk. The Mega Energy Company, a joint venture between China and Russia, has taken Europe by surprise. Whether it's technological marvels or military advancements, China is always surprising the globe, and in particular, when it comes to China's mega projects with foreign countries, Europe becomes the center of attention. Europe is currently sanctioning Russia as a result of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. This is severely harming Russian trade. In this case, a developed country such as China is assisting Russia by signing a massive project. This mega project revelation has shocked and depressed Europe. This project benefits both countries. We'll talk about it more later. Russia and China just signed a $78 billion energy project. This project revolves around the transportation of natural gas from Russia to China. Before delving into the specifics, it's crucial to understand the context that gave rise to the necessity for their massive endeavor. Russia has the most land area of any country in the world. As a result, the country is abundant in natural resources such as natural gas and oil. Russia supplies over 14% of the world's total oil and natural gas. The country possesses the most extensive oil and gas reserves. It is why Russia excels at natural resource trading. In the past years, Russia has been making good money out of this trade, nearly $500 per day. Siberia and East Siberia are natural gas-rich regions of Russia. These regions represent the backbone of Russia's natural gas reserves. Russia has historically exported natural gas to neighboring European countries. Russia has benefited financially from this commerce. Notwithstanding the European world's reliance on Russia, Russia is equally financially dependent on Europe. However, during the Russia-Ukraine crisis, relations between Europe and Russia deteriorated. Russia's trading ceased when Europe imposed sanctions on the pipeline that transported the gas. Furthermore, both the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines were recently damaged. This slammed Russia severely and resulted in significant economic losses. Russia is no longer able to export gas to European countries. Thus, it needed to locate another country that could purchase natural gas on a greater scale. The state must have economic development and no political problems with Russia in order to achieve this. As a result, Russia shifted to the Asian side of the world in search of a better buyer than Europe. And when it comes to progress, what other country can be mentioned but China? China seeks peace and does not wish to damage any nation. The country only wants a firm that will benefit both countries. To be honest, China is far from political and economic conflicts, yet it is only concerned with progress and peace. That is why it has sophisticated technology that has left all other countries in the dust. Russia chose to enter into an agreement with China, and China consented. As Europe opposes Russia and imposes sanctions on it, China joins forces with Russia to assist the country in its hour of need. Both countries have agreed to a $78 billion energy project to explore natural gas because the money is in both countries. It will contribute to the project's estimated budget. Russia has been trading with China prior to the signing of this pact. In addition to domestic trade, Russia has been exporting natural gas to China via the Siberian gas pipeline. Both nations signed the pipeline contract in 2014, but by the end of the year, China-Russia commerce had hit its peak of $200 billion. It implies that both countries had formerly positive relations. Both countries recently agreed to build a new pipeline to replace the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. The Power of Siberia 2 pipeline is its official name, while the current pipeline is known as Siberia's Power. You may be wondering why, if Russia has already been sending gas to China since 2014, they signed a new energy project for a new pipeline. Now don't worry, since we're here to clear up any uncertainty in your mind. The existing pipeline can export approximately 10 billion cubic meters of gas per year, and it is expected that by 2025, this pipeline will be able to export approximately 38 billion cubic meters of total gas annually. Prior to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Moscow supplied Europe with a moderate amount of gas. But after the trade blockade, all the gas meant for export will rely on only one goal. But the power of Siberian pipes is not enough to supply this amount of gas. As a result, a huge pipe is necessary to efficiently provide a significant amount of gas. According to the idea, the pipeline will run from Russia's Yamal Peninsula to China, passing via Mongolia along the way. Because Mongolia sits in the pipeline's course, both China and Russia will have to meet with the country to seek authorization. The pipeline is 8,000 kilometers long, making it the world's longest pipeline. Because of its great capacity, the pipe can supply around 50 billion cubic meters of total gas per year. According to rumors, the project will begin in 2024 and will take 6 years to finish. China and Russia are also working together to develop nuclear power. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin held a virtual meeting to discuss collaborative construction projects at 2 Chinese nuclear power reactors. Most of China's energy still comes from coal, the majority of which is generated domestically. But in recent months, China has purchased more Russian coal, which is being sold at a discount as several other countries prepare to impose sanctions on the commodity. A Mongolian president has stated his support for the development of oil and gas pipelines from Russia to China via Mongolia, saying that the technical and economic feasibility should be explored. According to the Financial Times, Mongolia's prime minister expects Moscow to begin construction on the pipeline within 2 years. The China-Russia pipeline comes as Moscow confronts the prospect of losing natural gas purchases from the European Union, a major client aiming to reduce 2/3 of its Russian gas imports in the aftermath of the Ukraine war. China has attempted to diversify its energy sources, which means that by 2030, the final pipeline will be ready to export gas. Another advantage for Russia is that it will no longer be reliant on Europe for natural gas supplies. We've already covered how the project is a success for Russia, so let's go on to how China will benefit from it. As you may be aware, China is a developed country that relies on natural resources to meet its energy demands. With various businesses reliant on natural resources, China requires someone who can export an excessive amount of gas to meet the country's requirements. Another reason for preferring natural gas over other natural resources is that it is less polluting, and China makes no concessions when it comes to the environment.